The cuisine of the Mexican state of Nuevo Leon is generally fairly meat-forward. Suckling goat called cabrito, a holdover from the Spanish Jews who founded the state's capital, Monterrey, is a staple and used in numerous ways there, whether cooked on a stick over an open fire or in a tomato-based stew. It's organ meats cooked in its own blood, or organs and tripe wrapped in intestines and grilled. Goat is far from the only meat consumed on the Neo-Leonist table, though. Grilled arrachera or skirt steak is popular there, as is barbacoa eaten in tacos, beef jerky rehydrated in a stew called machados, or simply eaten out of hand. Pork is roasted there, its skin made into chicharrones, its flesh swaddled in masa to make tamales, its fat rendered into lard that's used to cook, well, everything. So when I tell you that the signature sandwich of the Valle de Salinas area north of Monterrey consists of a layer of refried beans between two corn tortillas, the vegetarians in the audience would do well to double-check the ingredient list. The beans are cooked in lard. The tortillas are dipped in lard before the sandwich is assembled. The optional add-ons for the sandwich include various types of meat sautéed in lard and then stewed, and chorizo, of course, is also an option. For a bean sandwich, it is as much a carnivore's delight as any goat on a stick would be. I wrote about this sandwich on my website in November, and I developed a set of recipes not in an effort to be authoritative, but just because there were so many moving parts to making this that I needed to write things down to keep track. I made chile colorado, beef stewed in a sauce made from rehydrated dried chilies, cumin, oregano, and plenty of garlic. I made chicharrones and salsa verde, crisp fried bits of pig skin sautéed briefly in lard before being stewed in a tomatillo and cilantro sauce until they've softened and absorbed all that flavor. I made my own refried beans because, like Johnny Cash said, it's hard to eat them from the can. I made a garlicky, vinegary hot sauce from the sauce base for the chile colorado and mixed some of that base into the cooking lard I'd be using. I shredded some queso Oaxaca and cooked up some beef chorizo that even store-bought was spicy and salty and vinegary and just right to eat with those beans. And then I made empalmes. The word empalme means something that's been joined or spliced, a reference to the two tortillas being glued together by that layer of beans, I imagine. In Mexico, where the ambient temperature is a bit higher than here, they simply dip each tortilla into a dish full of semi-liquid lard, but in this colder climate I had to spread it on with a knife, using one tortilla to smear the lard onto the other, and assembling each empalme while the lard sides were still touching. I tried it with beans alone, with beans and cheese, melty, stretchy, delicious queso Oaxaca. I tried adding cooked chorizo, fatty and salty and crumbly, embedding it into the beans and gluing it in place with cheese. I tried it with chile colorado, bright red with chili, spicy and meaty and rich. I tried it with chicharrones, bright and soft and chewy. I seasoned all the above with lashings of that garlicky, vinegary hot sauce. And now I'm glad I recorded every one of those recipes the way I made it. Sandwiching beans between crisp, lard-coated corn tortillas is not necessarily the ideal way to eat them. The beans are soft, the tortillas crisp and brittle and covered in fat that's hot enough to burn the prints right off your fingers. But every one of these was delicious. The beans spicy and bright, seasoned as they were with lime juice and some of that chili paste from the chile colorado. The chile colorado was hot and allium heavy and cooked to a deep, deep reddish brown. The chicharrones, tart and bright, soft and chewy, saucy and fatty and rich. I could make any one of these again just like this for tacos, for burritos, for huaraches, and be happy with what I had. But I may just make the empalmes again after all, in the spring, on a warmer day, a grilling day, and cook them over the coals instead of in a skillet. They seem like a snack for a beer and a backyard barbecue.